Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel, and welcome to Sniper Elite 5. Is that the correct term? It's not even been announced yet, it may never happen. But nonetheless, welcome to Sniper Elite. A while ago I was having a conversation on my Discord server, the link to which is in the description, about stuff we'd like to see in Sniper Elite 5, and it spiraled out of control and now I'm making a video on it. We've got a load of awesome stuff that we've come up with, so this will be an excellent video, and without further ado, let's get into this. Dinosaur says that he'd like to see cross-platform. This is a fairly simple one. Cross-platform would be a definite improvement to the game, because it would be awesome to play co-op or survival with your mates on different platforms. For competitive multiplayer, you should be able to set the cross-platform settings to 3 different modes, which would be cross-platform enabled, where you can play competitive multiplayer against players of all platforms, cross-platform disabled, where you can't play competitive multiplayer with anyone on a different platform, and for console players there'd be a cross-platform consoles only, which allows cross-platform on competitive multiplayer between consoles, but not with PC. So an Xbox player with this setting enabled could play with a PS4 and a Switch player who'd get absolutely dumped on, but not with PC players. Yuki says that they'd like to see different countries to play as or fight against. This would be awesome because Sniper Elite V2 had you fighting the Red Army, which I don't believe any other game has ever had you do, period. And it was really cool to be shooting people who were on your own side. Well, it wasn't really cool, but you know what I mean. It was very different, it was very unique. Additionally, Yuki says that maybe you could even play as a German. Battlefield 5 did this, where you played as a Nazi officer who commanded a Tiger tank. He showed signs of disillusionment towards the Nazi regime, and I reckon whilst playing as an out-and-out Nazi fanatic is a bit much, playing as a German who is fighting for his country rather than for the Nazis would be quite good. I took this further and said that fighting the Japanese would be awesome because the Japanese in World War II fought like no other nation, and that's what made them so interesting in World at War. I said that I wanted to see a deeper level of weapon customization in the game as well. Stuff like adding bayonets or bipods or switching out your styloscope or something. However, I'd still like to earn the attachments through challenges like in Sniper Elite 4, rather than having the random chance rubbish that Sniper Elite 3 used. Milano has said that he wants a more sophisticated melee takedown system. Basically, you'd be able to choose your melee weapon of choice, and you'd also have more creative non-weapon based melee animations, like one where you grab a rock and smash the guy's face in with it, or where you could slam the guy's head against a wall or something. Something ultra violent would be cool, because Sniper Elite is very violent anyway, what with the X-ray kill cam, so all this excessive violence wouldn't be out of place. Micro wants to see drivable vehicles in Sniper Elite 5. Originally I was against this idea, but this could actually be really cool. Because the game will be on the new hardware, it would be entirely possible to have campaign maps that are so much bigger than the current ones. If the maps were say 3 times bigger, which was the scale difference between Sniper Elite 3 and 4 maps, then having Opel Blitzes and Kubelwagens to drive around in would be amazing. I'm not sure whether it would be a good idea to let you drive tanks and stuff though, because that might be a bit overpowered. Battlefield 5 has this sort of thing. In the mission Butcher and Bolt from the Under No Flag war story, you're dumped into this huge desert environment and you can use Kubelwagens to get from place to place, completing the objectives. Additionally, you can head to the airstrip and steal a German plane if you want, and whilst I don't necessarily think that planes would work well in a Sniper Elite game, the amount of choice in this level is really cool, and this level would have worked so well in a Sniper Elite title. Micro also wants to see the ability to remove the scope from the weapon and just use irons. I know you can shoulder aim, but this would certainly be much better and it wouldn't be difficult to implement, and it's great for player choice, which is kind of something that Sniper Elite is very good at. And you could roleplay as Simo Hea, whose name I have mispronounced. Oolong Tea has the simple idea of not being able to see the grenade trajectory in Authentic Plus. I'm not a huge Authentic Plus player, nor am I a huge grenade user, and I didn't actually know that you could see the grenade trajectory, so when I found out that it is still shown in Authentic Plus, I was very surprised. This is definitely a change that should be made, or you should at least have the option to turn it off in the settings. Yuki wants to see some Norwegian Sabotage missions, which I think would be excellent fun. I had a Commando comic book that featured Norwegian saboteurs sabotaging an airstrip and a submarine base, and that sort of thing would be brilliant to see in Sniper Elite. If they didn't want to make the main game like this, they could easily do it with a DLC mission or something, so there's really no excuse not to do it. Yuki also wants to see a first-person mode in the game, which I can't really argue with. Whilst I personally think that the game wouldn't be any better in first-person, it certainly wouldn't be any worse for it either. If you could switch between first and third person on the fly like in Red Dead 2 or GTA 5, that would be just perfect. Milano would like to see a P14 rifle in the game, which would be an awesome rifle to have, as it's a really unique looking rifle and an interesting one at that. So that would certainly be very cool. And whilst I'm here, I'm just going to read out most of the weapon suggestions now, because there isn't a lot I can say about them other than they're really cool looking and somewhat interesting, so it's a no-brainer. And they are a Silent Sten, a K31, Finnish Mosin Nagants, a Suomi, a Browning A5, a Johnson M1941, a Mondragon, and a HDM that's good. Cheese Guy would like to see the stationary MG42 return. This is a brilliant idea. I have never got a kill with the stationary MG42, but it was still an excellent feature to add nonetheless. I can see why they got rid of them from Sniper Elite 4, because they were completely useless, but they are a lot of fun. I want a Silent Sten. I don't know exactly how it would work, and it'd probably be way overpowered for the campaign, not that this seemed to be an issue when they added the Delisle carbine. The gun was semi-auto anyway, so if you just made it like the HDM, I can't imagine it would be too unfair. The balancing about it would be that you'd have effectively no submachine gun, so if you messed up your stealth, you'd be royally screwed when the entire Panzer Division rolls around the corner to take you out. Seriously, can you imagine trying to do actual combat with a Delisle, Silent Sten and Welrod? You'd be genuinely just ruined. Cheese Guy says that you should be able to make an officer surrender by pointing a gun at them. This would be pretty cool, although I reckon you should only be able to do this if you've killed a load of their troops already, a bit like the gang hideout leaders in Red Dead Online, where they'll surrender if you kill all of their men. I'm not sure how this would work in terms of numbers though. I continued the discussion saying that I want to see a more fleshed out role for officers overall. Cheese Guy pointed out that they do have duty rosters, but I think it's a fundamental game design issue if the officer's only useful role in-game is when they're dead. I don't know how this would work, but Rebellion, if by some reason you stumble across this video, please make the officers useful and interesting in Sniper Elite 5. We went on with the officers, Milanesso saying that you should be able to steal their uniforms, which would disguise you. I said that this should probably only make you harder to see at range, like a way of reducing your visibility, because otherwise it might be too overpowered. Maybe you'd have to get a clean melee kill on them to use it, or kill them without anyone realising, like in the Deathstorm 1 objective to assassinate Volker Grun. Milano wants to see greater character customization, such as being able to swap around each character's hats and stuff, and I think that would be quite cool. They've got it in Zombie Army anyway, so it wouldn't be too hard to implement. Cheese Guy asks for the return of a feature from Sniper Elite 3 where if you don't properly destroy a vehicle, the crew will get out and shoot at you. I didn't even know this was a feature, as when I destroyed a vehicle I always used excessive amounts of force to do so. Generally, I think they need to buff vehicles in general, as they are quite situational when it comes to how difficult they are to destroy. For instance, the first armoured car on Facility on Survival is a doddle to take down, but the first armoured car on Winter Market on Survival can actually give you a run for your money if you're not careful. Pugskin continues the idea from earlier about the different settings for Sniper Elite 5, and talks about the Soviet Union or Imperial Japan. Both of these would be really cool and very different to all the previous Sniper Elite games, and it'd be a good excuse to charge us for some Soviet and Japanese skins to play as. Talking of this, I want all the skins in multiplayer to be available for use in the other modes. If you don't know, Sniper Elite multiplayer features a load of skins taken from the various enemies in the game, such as Professor Bosch or the German Sniper, and you can play as them in multiplayer. However, these skins aren't in the other modes, supposedly because it doesn't make sense that a Nazi infantry would shoot at other Nazi infantry troops, but I don't care. In real life, commandos didn't run around the place with solid gold Delisle carbines, but that didn't stop you from implementing that feature in the game, and everybody loves that feature. And besides, if you didn't love that feature, like character skins, you can just choose not to use them. I'm going to call the video here because it's getting a little long, but rest assured that there will be a part 2. I've gone through just under half the suggestions that you guys made in this video, and I'll go through the other half in another video, so stay tuned for that and I'll see you later. Thank you everyone for watching the video. Remember to like, subscribe and comment. It costs you nothing and it's a great way to help out the channel. Stay safe and goodbye.